to murder the African? Is it moral to murder the Indian? Is it moral to rob women of their right to choose over their own bodies what and will they will do with their own body? Is that moral? This American government, this system has been around for about 500 years and has murdered and devoured more people than any empire on the face of the earth. And we support it every day. And until we wake up to our own hypocrisy, how could we ever begin to tear down a hypocritical system?
Hear some music! Yeah, you want to hear some music, my friend? Well, we're not going to play music until we're fucking goddamn ready to play music. Yeah! And if you get a band and you come up here and want to express yourself, this is a fucking hard thing for me to do. If you want to get in a band and come up here, I will fucking definitely give you the respect of coming up here and expressing yourself and trying to relay a message to people. So give it to me, please.
2 years ago in the States, complacence ran rampant through the streets. It ran rampant through the neighborhoods, and it ran rampant through the whole nation. Because once again, the leaders and major owners of corporations set out forth to take action in the Persian Gulf in the name of freedom. And it was there where they manipulated OPEC to lower prices that made Iraq suffer economically, suffer so bad that there were people starving in the streets there. And they did this in the name of freedom. And they employed troops and sent fighter planes murdering over 500,000 innocent women and children and men in Iraq, and they did it in the name of freedom. And I watched them pump over the airwaves glorifications of this mass murder. And it sickened me enough as I sat around and I watched my parents and their friends drive around my neighborhood with little yellow ribbons in commemoration of this fucking murder that was taking place. And it made me want to write something about it. This song is called A Bullet in Your Head.
Red Light King. Individuals can fight this. We can fight this hypocrisy which is now America. And as soon as he became a threat, when he began to speak out against the war, they fucking shot him.
hemisphere. Indigenous cultures of America are applaud internationally. Suffered in dignity, suffered at the hands of those feudal landlords that came here with a sickness. That sickness was materialistic in nature. That sickness lacked value and appreciation and love for nature. It was a sickness which forced them to view other human beings and other cultures and other ways of life as savage. And therefore, creating a process of dehumanization and cultural ethnocide and spiritual genocide and denial of rights in every way. And when those first European colonialists set forth on the Native American continent, there were 80 million of black people in existence. And when they left 75 to 150 years later, there were 10 million left. And the lies that are taught about our history in America, and the same rights are being deprived, and the same amounts of murder and genocide to this day exist in America. It is imperative that we seek out and find new sources of information to see through all the untruths and make a decision on where to stand and make decisions about what to do in our lives and make decisions on how conscious we can become and how to use our power as individuals to fight evil systems like the one in America and a very capitalist system that rules over Britain today. Wake up!
We gotta begin to have the consciousness. We gotta begin to detach ourselves from this American, whatever you call it, because I don't call it society, man. I call it chaotic. I call it oppressive. I call it regressive. In the 200 years of its existence, it has industrialized, it has exploited, it has enslaved, and it has murdered its own people. And yet we support it every day. We support it every day. We can't let the complacence in our own lives begin to affect our own human rights. Because if we don't take our freedom, they're gonna take it from us. So wake up!
Check it out. We've almost had to fucking stop shows all over the country. And I'll tell you why. It's because some people think that because they're at a show and because there's women dancing and trying to have a good time, that it gives them the right to tear their fucking tops off when they're trying to have a good time out here. That's fucking bullshit. Women are forced to live in fear in their schools and in their communities and shouldn't have to come to a Rage Against the Machine show and be afraid of that shit right there, right there, right there, right there. We can't fucking do that. We're gonna stop it if it happens again. Now, apparently it wasn't one of the promoters. And it wasn't some security guard. And I'm not going to make any assumptions. But we're not naive enough to think that there aren't members of the intelligence community right here in this fucking crowd who want to prevent you from understanding why Maria Abdul-Jabbar should be free. prison to this day for a crime he didn't commit. His name is Mumia Abu Jamal. And throughout the world, people have raised their voices. Raised their voices on every continent on the planet. And demand that the U.S. government recognize his innocence and status as a political prisoner and bring him home to his family. Tomorrow in Berlin, I want to see all of you out at a demonstration to save the life of Mumia Abu Jamal. We demand justice and we demand his freedom.
A good friend of ours said that if the same laws were applied to U.S. presidents as were applied to the Nazis after World War II, that every single one of them, every last rich white one of them from Truman on would have been hung to death and shot. And this current administration is no exception. He should be hung and tried and shot. As any war criminal should be. But the challenges that we face, they go way beyond administrations, way beyond elections, way beyond every 4 years of pulling levers, way beyond that. Because this whole rotten system has become so vicious and cruel that in order to sustain itself, it needs to destroy entire countries and profit from their reconstruction in order to survive. And that's not a system that changes every 4 years. It's a system that we have to break down generation after generation after generation after generation.
But you know, as well as I do, that there's a tension brewing in this city once again. The drama around this city, what I see, foreclosure signs and stretching the horizon. When I see new fancy ritzy hotels coming up downtown, and know that there's more and more homeless folks out on the street. And inside those hotels are empty rooms. There's a tension going in the city again. With students all over the city are being denied a proper education. Because the city is being forced to pay for illegal wars, and not just wars. There's a tension brewing in this city again. But LA is a city that we love, because it's got rebellion in its blood. Like we saw in Rocha. Like we saw in 92 when the people rose up. Like we saw in 95 and 96. And 2005 when blood saw all over the place, marching the streets. And I just want to leave you with this.